Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Root Beer here, looking at question number 16. So, this is question 16 on our 2013 Pascal. An integer x is chosen so that 3x plus 1 is an even integer. Okay, so we'll be able to tell pretty quickly x will be odd, but we'll get into that in a moment. Which of the following must be an odd integer? Not might be, must be. Okay. So when we look at this question, yeah, they're talking about integers, but the primary thing that they're focusing on is odds and evens. Okay? 3x plus 1 is even. Well, okay, which of the following expressions, they're all involving x, must be odd. Now, there's sort of two approaches you could do for something like this. You could just pick a number, just keep going until you find, x equals 2. Will that make 3x plus 1 an even number? Well, no, that'll make 3x plus 1 odd. So, okay, maybe try x equals 5. Will that work? And then, yeah, 3x plus 1 is 16. Okay, that's great. Now just plug in 5 in place of x and see which of these is odd. And that's a fine thing to do. And if you realize that that's going to work out, that's great. I think D will end up being your answer. But let's try and approach it without just picking an x that happens to work. Let's try and understand this on the level of parity. And parity is just a fancy word for odd and even. All right. Now, if 3x plus 1 is even, well, what do we know about even and odd numbers? Well, if you take an even number and you add on an odd number or you subtract an odd number, the result will be odd. So 3x would be an even number minus 1. Well, that's going to be an odd number. Okay? Even plus odd or even minus odd. These are both odd. That's sort of a rule that we're exploiting. So 3 times x is an odd number. Okay, when can you get a product of numbers being odd? Well, if you do an even number times an even number, the result will be even. If you do an even times an odd, the result will still be even. And as long as you got a factor of 2 kicking around, you'll be even. The only way to get an odd number is if you do an odd times an odd. Well, I've got 3 as an odd number. I got x. I don't quite know about x, but I know the product is odd, so it must be an odd number times an odd number, and I can see that x is odd. Okay? That's why 5 worked a moment ago, but 2 didn't. So, okay, x is odd. Great. Where can we go from here? Well, let's look at our possible answers. Okay. I think it was x minus 3 and x plus 3, or I think maybe I have that backwards. Plus 3, then minus 3, then 2x, then 7x plus 4. And I'm going to need to go back and double check what was e. E is 5x plus 3. Okay. Well, if I take an odd number and I add on an odd number, an odd plus an odd is even. So can't be A because we're looking for an odd result. Similarly, an even number 2 times an odd number is even. Even times odd is even. So it can't be C. Okay. How about B? Well, an odd number minus another odd number, that's going to be even as well. That leaves D and E. These ones are a little more complex, so you might want to leave those towards the end. E, so you have 5 is an odd number times an odd number, so that's going to be odd. And then you have an odd number plus 3. Well, we already said that that's going to be even. Okay? So by process of elimination, I've stumbled upon D being the right answer. But we've got 7 times an odd number. Odd times odd is odd. And an odd number plus 4, an odd number plus an even number, is still odd. So D is the correct answer. D is the only one that works that way. Okay? And depending on how comfortable you are with odd and even, and if you add an odd to an even times an odd, what are you going to get? If you're comfortable with that sort of stuff, this question is not that bad. It's taken me a little longer, but that's because I'm trying to explain the process, the thought process here. You can, if you're a bit more comfortable, just say, well, I'll pick numbers until I find one that satisfies this condition, and then check it out. That's another perfectly good approach. Okay? But there we go. We see our answer to Question number 16 is D, and we can move right along to question number 17. Take care.